Hi Glenn, thanks for joining us today. First of all, what have you been up to during lockdown? I can see you're in your new kitchen there.
Yeah, it's when I think of lockdown, I'll be thinking of sort of living in front of like a building site. They'd literally knocked down a wall, what you see behind me. So I was turning it into a kitchen diner. They'd plastered the whole area, and I was ready for some bifold doors to go in when lockdown kicked in. I was okay, it was my wife. It was really getting us down, but we've got the opportunity to do lots of things. It's been a really up and down period.
One of the things you've been doing, of course, we saw you on the home tour. You've played quite a lot of online darts during this time. How have you adapted to that?
Well, I actually haven't played a lot of online darts, but I thoroughly enjoyed the at-home darts with the PDC, and I thought I wouldn't. I mean, genuinely, for 2 days after I lost to Stephen Bunting, I was kicking myself. There's a house across the road which is it's been getting, virtually rebuilt, and he must have had some still sore or something going on, and I just totally lost concentration. But just to sort of show you the players were taking it really seriously, because I was absolutely gutted that I lost. But I played in a good one last week. Michael Smith, Nathan Aspinall, Chris Dobey, Andy Bull, etc. And I won that. So I feel like I can go into the tournament, the Summer Series, like on a bit of a high, really.
Yeah. You say on a bit of a high. You were definitely on a high before we into this period. Last time we spoke to you was at your beloved Middlesbrough Football Club for the darts show. A lot's happened since then, but you were top of the Premier League before the break. Tell us how you're enjoying the experience of the Premier League.
Oh, the Premier League's everything you hope for and more. I mean, it's genuinely incredible. I probably haven't got a superlative that sort of really matches exactly how I feel, and it's gone like a dream. I think the only game I didn't enjoy was the Fallon game, because I don't think I've ever felt pressure like that match. But I'm thankful I got off the ground running with a win over Michael Smith. But it's brilliant, it's immense, and to be sat top is just a very, very great feeling. Just backstage talking to the guys, and just watching players. I'm up there with the elite right now, and it feels good.
You've been working decades to get to this point. So now that you're at the top of the Premier League and it gets sort of taken away from you for a short time, hopefully, how do you manage to stay positive?
With great difficulty. I've always been a good practicer. One of my main secrets come out that I play what's called the invisible man. That's where I try to win in 15 darts, break in 12. So many people ask me about my practice routine over the years, and I sort of kept that to myself, really. But I don't get bored playing that. I had a good chat with Joe Cullen, who was really struggling to motivate himself to practice, because he didn't know when he was going to be playing next. But I've always been okay. But some days were really difficult. I was very selfish when I said I was gutted that Newcastle didn't go ahead. I had possibly 500 people going to Newcastle. Michael van Gerwen in Holland, Rob Cross in Holland. Everything was set up beautifully. But there is a bigger picture. I soon stopped sulking, and I'm desperate for the Premier League to finish. And we'll just see how it goes. But communication, everything from the PDC has been absolutely first class, and I have faith in every decision they make.
You've said before in previous interviews that you think you've got around 5 years at the top to play at this level. So does that make it even harder for yourself, a player at your time in the game, to have this time taken away?
Yeah, absolutely spot on. But what I would say to you is I think I would struggle to retire because I found it difficult. I'm just itching to get to Milton Keynes now, just back playing competitive darts. I just can't wait. And it's only 5 years away. I've got myself back under 16 stone again. So I was really, really heavy after Ali Pali. I feel fit, I feel healthy. I've been managing sort of my body well. So, if the throw keeps going well at 55, then who knows? I'm ready to talk to Mac Elkin now about a long-term deal for him to sign me up. So that gets that out of the way. So I'm just putting everything to bed right now, but I couldn't retire today, that's for sure, because and I still feel I've got a lot more to do. I'm loving the PDC.
So it could be that this period has changed your perspective on your career, perhaps, whereas before you said, I've got 5 years and sort of put a time limit on it. But because we don't know timing-wise, you can now think in your head, well, it could be 10, 15 years.
Self-reflection is a beautiful thing. When Peter Wright won the Worlds this year, he's 52. He's 50 also, not 52. He's 50 also, and he's already thinking what he wants to dominate over the next 5 or 10 years. And he's me talking that retirement in 5 years. And sometimes that mentality, when you get on the hockey, is a little bit different. So my self-reflection over this period is that I still love the game. I'm still very hungry, and I want to do really well.
Well, one place you did really well was the Winx and Gardens last year. Unfortunately, we've had the news today that it won't be in Blackpool this year. How disappointing is that, considering the great time that you had there last year?
Well, as a corporate person, I suppose I've got to sort of try and say that it's going to be fantastic at Milton Keynes, and it's competitive dart. It's still a World Matchplay. But I always answer questions honestly, and genuinely, I'm devastated. Blackpool just holds the best memories. It's incredible. That was the best week of my life, and I've won 3 Lakeside titles. I didn't even win that tournament. I only reached the semi-finals, and I remember a video I did with you guys, and sometimes if only I could have won that competition, that video, just we might have got a BAFTA for it. But very, very disappointed. Blackpool is one heck of a tournament.
Yeah, it's a very special time, but it's good that the tournament is on at all, I suppose, during the time, and I'm sure you'll be looking forward to playing it in Milton Keynes. Yeah,
the corporate side of me is like, of course, I'm desperate to play. It's still the match play. I've got to look at some of the positives, and I played in the BDO under some ridiculously small crowds. So, playing in front of and behind closed doors or a very small audience might suit me, where where you can hear the clinking of a glass, you can hear people walking across the auditorium. It might suit me. The Summer Series coming up, I've read the brief, and it could really suit a more methodical player with a 1 metre gap, so no one's flicking at your ankle. So, like I said, I've had a lot of time to think and review, but the overriding feeling is I'm just desperate to get back playing darts.
As you mentioned, it's not long to go now. We will be in Milton Keynes again before the match play for the Summer Series. Tell us how excited you are to get back on the hockey.
Just playing competitive darts. I feel like I'm in good form. It just could be the person who adapts the best. Things are different now. It's not like a game we used to play. It's just reading everything. Health and safety is paramount to the players, and we're going to go into this bubble next week, and it's not going to be the same. And people will need to adapt. People will need to change, even amend the game slightly. But my first thoughts were that it could suit my pace. It could suit my style, and I don't really want to lose because I'm rubbish at marking. So they'll be the motivations.
Yeah, we saw you win 2 Players' Championship titles near the start of your PDC career. Do you think it's time that you win another?
Yeah, I think I was so disappointed in the last one. A lot of the good players, top players, went home, and I looked at the draw in my side of the draw. A lot of these seeds left. And I played Luke Woodhouse in the last 16 or the last 8, with the winner playing Dirk Telnikers, and I thought this is a route I can win. But that's the problem when you start mapping out, when you start looking at your route. But Luke Woodhouse has beat me twice now, and he was excellent in the last leg. So the disappointment was soon out the window. But yeah, I'm desperate to win again. I want to get back on that winner's podium.
Right. Well, thanks for joining us today, Glenn. We'll let you get back on the practice board ahead next week.
Thank you so much. Cheers, guys.